I'm good. Ooh, hi. Yes.
How about Farah? Next to you.
Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. The sun came out for us, so good omen on a great day and a great celebration. Welcome. I am Gabrielle Thialkoff, New York City Commissioner of Parks and Recreation, and it is, thank you, just such an exciting day to be here with you to celebrate what will be the Shirley Chisholm Recreation Center here in East Flatbush. It's really exciting day, and I'd so much like to thank our guests and speaker who are here with us today. Soon to join us, Mayor Bill de Blasio, a great champion for parks equity. We also have with us today the Acting Commissioner of the Department of Design and Construction, Commissioner Tom Foley, Council Member Farah Lewis, and New York State Assembly Member Rodney's Bichotte-Ermelin. Welcome all. I am so proud to be part of this administration, which has been a champion of equity and access to our parks and recreational spaces. Those values are exemplified by the groundbreaker for whom this rec center will be named for, Shirley Chisholm. The first black woman elected to Congress, the first black woman from Brooklyn in Congress, and of course, the first black woman to run for President of the United States. She blew open the doors of opportunity for women and people of color in this city and in our country. And she did it in service to her community. This community, expanding nutritional aid programs, programs for veterans, investments in education, enrichment, everything we're here today celebrating. And with that in mind, I know she would be so proud of what will be here soon in the future. A recreation center devoted to the enrichment of the youth in the neighborhood, to families, to everybody who will come and be part of it, take part in the programs, swim in the pool. It's really a lot to celebrate. And building a recreation center from the ground up isn't only, of course, about the brick and mortar foundations, but it is built through the work of advocacy, determination, collaboration of the community and everybody who worked so hard. I know this was a long time coming, and the efforts have been long, with passion of our local elected officials, our community members, the community board, civic groups, and we're just so thrilled from the Parks Department to be able to partner with all of you and to make this dream a reality. So without further ado, I'm thrilled to say thank you. I can't wait to be back here in a few years, a year for the opening. And please welcome Commissioner Tom Foley. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Fialkoff. My name is Tom Foley. I'm acting commissioner at DDC, and absolutely delighted to be here today. I wanted to thank our local elected officials, Councilmember Lewis and Assemblymember Bichotte-Ermelin, for their advocacy, and we are here today because of their tireless efforts. And also to thank the representatives from Community Board 17 and also the Flatbush Tenant Association. Sherry Fraser, Joan Alexander Backreeden is the chair, George Tate, and Marietta Small. Marietta, I know, is around. So my team and I are super delighted to be involved with this project. We understand the impact that this Shirley Chisholm Rec Center has in its community, and as an engineers and architects, we're really delighted to be and to be spearheading this effort. We're super excited to be designing and building a 65,000 rec center. Looking forward to taking a dive into the pool. Obviously, there'll be lifeguards around, so we'll be all right. And there'll be an indoor track, amazing programming. So we're really excited. And what really helped drive this project and also the schedule is the work that was tirelessly done by the Assembly member Bishat in Albany with her colleagues in the state legislature. We were able to use design build, which is a contract delivery method, which will help execute the contract. We have shortlisted down to 3 firms. We're looking at contract execution in the spring and a completion by 2025. What would have normally been a 7-year process, we would have been, still designing this and constructing it through 2027. But through the advantages of design build, has true collaboration with the designers, with the community, and that way we're able to drive into what will be an amazing rec center. And this will also achieve a lot of our MWBE goals for as a city. And this is best team selection, is not a low bid process. And I know we're having a special guest arriving shortly, so I'm not going to get into the dollar amounts of this critical facility. Otherwise, I'd get my resume ready and I'd have to look for another job. So, but we are, and I also wanted to really thank the participation, the collaboration we've been having with the commissioner and her team at Parks. They have a fabulous team there, as we do at DDC. Wanted to thank our team, who's been spearheaded by Allison Landry. She's here in the back. Round of applause for Allison. And the rest of our team is not here today. They're actually in the warmth of 3030 Thompson Avenue working on this project. So kudos to them. So, Commissioner, back to you.
Thank you so much, and we are grateful for your partnership. And it's been a pleasure working with the DDC team. Now I'm very pleased to introduce one of the most committed advocates for this project and who has really delivered for her community. Please welcome Council Member Farah Lewis.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. This is a long time coming, so I'm super excited. I want to thank Mayor de Blasio for his partnership with my office and residents in the 45th District to bring a new recreation center to East Flatbush. So give him a round of applause. I know he's not here yet, but when he comes, we could do it again. I want to thank him for taking our phone calls. Every time we reached out to him, he took the time to listen. And every time we threatened him, he responded. All right. I also want to acknowledge Public Advocate Williams for starting this project when he was in office. So give him a round of applause, because this wouldn't have been possible without his leadership as well. And Commissioner Mitchell Silver, who also supported this project and starting the foundation of this. So give him a round of applause. I know he's not here anymore, and we look forward to working with you, Commissioner. I do want to take some time out, because those are all elected officials and stakeholders, but this project would not be possible without the community. So I just wanted to take some time to thank Community Board 17 for their role in this. It was a very, very controversial project, and I know it was very daunting for all of you to take on all of those meetings and hearings and conversations. So I do want to thank Ms. Shirley Fraser, who's here. I saw her earlier, but I don't know. I'll give her a round of applause. Chairwoman Joan Backredine, before you were even the chairwoman, you were very integral in this. So I want to say thank you to you. I want to thank Hazel Martinez and Allison Martinez, who I saw earlier. Give them a round of applause because they were very integral in this as well. Elite learners, Kamara Jackson is here, but her whole team is here. So give them a round of applause. They provide cure violence services and youth programs here in our district, as well as Reverend Cockfield, who was very instrumental in this as well, and Mr. Clayton Peoples and Mr. Wallace from Forster Park Sports. That's only to name a few. Right? But thank you all for all that you've done. Our youth, families, and seniors have waited with much anticipation for a safe space that they could call their own, a hub for learning, for recreation, and community and civic engagement, which is very important for East Flatbush. This state-of-the-art recreation center will be a beacon of inspiration and innovation where people of all ages and backgrounds can connect and prosper with expanded access to much-needed resources in a centralized location. For years, I have been working hand in hand with my predecessor and other community leaders, advocating alongside of residents of this community for a recreation center that would bridge the gap in opportunities for information and technology, because that's the new way, right? I was born and raised in this community, a daughter of immigrants, middle-class families who also reside here, who have struggled to provide for their households. When the school day ends or goes on winter break or spring recess, our youth have nowhere to go. Without safe spaces like a community center, youth become disconnected and are faced with mounting peer pressure. Ultimately, they make poor decisions without weighing out the consequences, including a life of crime, violence, incarceration, and some cases, death. As our community, like so many others across the city, grapples with the increase and uptick in shootings, this state-of-the-art recreation center will be pivotal in turning that tide. When we invest in our youth and in our community, we make a lifelong commitment towards bettering our community and its future leaders. Every dollar that we put into this, you guys put a lot of dollars into this. Every dollar that we put into this project, every dollar that goes into counselors, mentors, career development counselors, employment counselors, sends a resounding message that we believe in our community, we believe in our youth, we believe in our seniors and their capacity to succeed. The impact of this center, the impact that it will have in this community will go beyond sports and entertainment. By building their character of our young people, creating spaces for teamwork and deeper sense of community. This is how we occupy our blocks. This is how we stop the shooting and save lives, by taking the critical step forward. I will continue to work with the mayoral administration, the Parks Department, the DDC to break ground so that this recreation center can finally come into fruition. Our community looks forward to working with the New York City Parks Commissioner, Gabrielle Thialkoff, Commissioner Tom Foley towards the next steps of building this community center. And again, I do want to thank my predecessor for starting this process and for believing in me enough to know that I would carry it to the finish line. Thank you so much. This community deserves this. Not only did you deserve it, you made it happen. Thank you so much.
Snuck in.
Thank you so much, Council Member. And please welcome Assembly Member Rick Perry, who's here with us today. Nick Perry. Nick.
Although Rick Perry sounds cool, too.
I think I turned you into a pop singer.
That's right.
But please join us.
Governor of Texas.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Apologies.
Rick Perry, as far as I know, was a former
Governor.
Republican governor
No, that's not you.
of
No,
Texas.
it was a pop star I was referring to.
Okay. Not someone I want to be mistaken for. Consider that I am probably considered to be woke.
Yes. Very woke.
I'm a dreamer, though. I tell Jumani that if you're woke too much, you don't dream anymore. And I came up during the time when dreamers were dreaming was what we did. Dreaming for better, dreaming for action by government to fix our parks. I want to congratulate my colleague in government, in the City Council, Councilwoman Farah Louis, who has taken up the banner and is delivering to the community. This is a project that would have been or was supposed to be located someplace else, but it was not the right place. And I think that with all the space we have here, it's going to be well utilized.
Amen.
And it's not just going to serve the other side of, it's in a very good location in your council district, in the East Flatbush community. We really need it, and I fully support it. And it is a pleasure to see the actual start of this project, and hope that you'll hurry up and fix it so I can have some fun there myself, because no matter what you have been hearing, I'm always going to be a resident here in East Flatbush, and I'm going to be coming to the park. And now that we're putting up a building, so I won't have to freeze in the winter,
Amen.
I can get in and play. And I like table tennis, so anyone out there who think they're good, challenge me. Even at my age, I'll take you on,
Amen.
including the mayor.
There you go, brother.
And let me thank my colleague for having me cross the line. My district ends at that line right there. That's the 58th Assembly District. When you cross that fence, you go into the 58th. So here I am in the 42nd. And I used to represent all of this before, and I always feel very welcome. And thank you for coming out to show your support. This is a good project, and we should give Councilmember Louis and everybody else who is involved, the commissioner. Let's get it done quickly. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Amen.
Amen to that. Now, let me introduce, and I'll say this carefully, Assembly Member Rodney's Bichot Ermeline. Please
Very
welcome.
nice.
Thank
You got it right. You got it right.
Got the hard one.
Good afternoon, everyone. Whew. My name is Assembly Member Rodney Bichot Hermelin. I am the Assembly Member representing this district, the 42nd Assembly District, sharing borders with Assembly Member Nick Perry, with Councilwoman Farah Lewis as my council member, and I'm so happy to be here today. So excited. I want to thank, my stuff changed. I want to thank Mayor Bill de Blasio, Assembly Member Nick Perry, Senator Kevin Parker, New York City Parks Commissioner Thialkoff, Director of Capital Projects for New York City Parks, Yandoli, and DDC Commissioner Tom Foley and his team, and most importantly, the person with the vision. Who has the vision here? Who had the vision? Let's say her name. Councilmember Farah Lewis. I do also want to recognize Public Advocate Jumani Williams. Farah took this project. It was inception in under his leadership, and Farah saw the potential of this particular recreational center. When she met with those residents on the other side of the district, they realized that it was not a good fit. This here was a better fit. Why? Because look around us. We have the space. It wouldn't be just a building. It's a building with substance, with indoor pool, tracking, and a whole bunch of other things that I will mention. But look at this place. It's populated with children, working class. And there's issues around here in terms of gun violence and so forth. So this is the best place we can have this recreational center. And I tell you, Shirley Chisholm is smiling upon us. Amen. It is a great day commemorating Shirley Chisholm, who was also celebrated yesterday, by the way, at our Shirley Chisholm Democratic Club for 10 years, recognizing that she is a catalyst for change. Today, we are here to announce the Shirley Chisholm Recreation Center procurement process is underway, and this week is City Hall in your borough, which supports the residents of every borough across the city. So today we're celebrating Flatbush and East Flatbush, Brooklyn. Mayor de Blasio's part of borough, his home borough. So we're fortunate that City Hall always has that presence, not only in Brooklyn, but also here in Flatbush, East Flatbush. I want to highlight some things that make Flatbush, great. First and foremost, our rich cultural diversity. Flatbush, Brooklyn is known as a melting pot because of our population, which is nearly 40% of foreign-born. It's a population that represents Brooklyn represents over 200 languages. And I want to thank the mayor for supporting this community, which is the heart of the rich culture. Our neighbors have been struggling with inequities that were made worse by the pandemic. We are struggling to combat gun violence and housing insecurities and gain access to equal educational opportunities and health care, all struggles which this recreation center will help to combat. And speaking of wellness, Mayor Bill de Blasio is making it easier to get Brooklyn with the new Brooklyn Bridge bike lane, which has nearly doubled cycling rates over the East River crossing, allowing fitness and wellness while moving. I also want to thank Bill de Blasio for his work on making the Shirley Chisholm Recreation Center a reality. We are honored to host you in Flatbush today as we formally announced that the procurement process for this 65,000 square foot project is underway. And that means we are looking for applicants to bid, both on the prime contractor and the subcontractor. And in the spirit of the namesake of the center, Shirley Chisholm, we have to get minority and women-owned business enterprise to bid on this project. This project needs to represent what Shirley Chisholm fought. We want to make sure we have a minority-owned contractor who's going to be the face of this project. And we want to make sure when we're thinking about workforce development, it includes all of us and all of our communities. If you are a contractor, designer, or architect from an underrepresented background, we want to hear from you. So keep an eye for the procurement and community engagements opportunity. And again, that's what Shirley Chisholm wanted. Let's keep it true to her spirit. Unbought and unboss. Procurement is going to be completed in less than 2 months, and design will be done by 2022. That means there's not much time left to bid. But it also means that we're much closer to groundbreaking at this very stop, which will soon showcase, again, an indoor pool, an indoor 2-lane track, an indoor basketball court, a green solar roof, a fitness center with a range of classes including yoga, spin aerobics, and martial arts, and a commercial kitchen for cooking and healthy eating classes. This center will feature youth and senior programming, a technology and business incubator center named after the late and the great Dr. Roy Hastick. Childcare, yes, let's give Dr. Roy Hastick. Childcare and a crisis management program to combat gun violence in the community. Yes, we see elite learners there. Let's give a shout out to elite learners. I also want to give a shout out to all my CB17 family. The project will be a low energy intensity building with high performance building envelope, minimum 10% on-site renewable energy and efficient mechanical, electrical, and HVAC systems. This will be a new hub of community activity and engagement for Central Brooklyn. Again, finally, I want to thank Mayor and the team at City Hall, the DDC, and Parks, and my councilwoman, Farah Lewis. Today, we celebrate a new chapter for this neighborhood and for this borough. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Assembly Member, and for painting that vivid picture for us of what's to come. And I just want, before I bring up our next special guest, I want to give a hearty thank you to my colleagues at the Parks Department, Deputy Commissioner Margaret Nelson, who will lead this project, and Brooklyn Borough Commissioner Marty Marr. Thank you both so much. And now I'm so pleased to introduce the man who is integral of bringing all these pieces together and getting us across the finish line here. Please welcome Mayor Bill de Blasio. Thank you.
It is City Hall in your borough week for Brooklyn. And for me, this is a beautiful homecoming. In just a few weeks, I'll be moving back to Brooklyn. And let me tell you, I am ready to move back to Brooklyn. I miss Brooklyn. Oh, no, I'm going back to my home. I love Crown Heights, but I'm going back to my little old home. And I love deeply anytime we can do something right for Brooklyn. So I want to ask something as we begin here, because we're in Brooklyn, there's a certain attitude, there's a certain swagger. I want to hear, is there anybody here from Brooklyn? Just want to make sure I was in the right place. Now, everybody, to our brothers and sisters in the Cure Violence movement, the crisis management system, I just want to take a moment before we talk about everything else just to appreciate you. If you're a part of Cure Violence or crisis management, raise your hand, please. Raise your hand. I want to say God bless you all. Thank you on behalf of 8.8 million New Yorkers for everything you do. Profoundly important work. And I want to recognize every time I see one of the good people in this work, I want to say thank you. I want to recognize, I want the world to learn about you. We're going to have some really wonderful videos coming out portraying the amazing work that you do. And it's something I want to show not only the whole city, I want to show the whole country. Because this is the way forward, community-based solutions, stopping violence before it starts, creating peace on the ground. Let's thank them all. God bless you all. Okay, I'm going to thank some people real quick, and then I'm going to just tell you why I think this is so important. First, to my colleagues in government, Commissioner Gabrielle Thialkoff, thank you. Thank you, your team. Margaret, thank you for leading this effort. Marty, I go back with my Little League days as my scary experiences as a Little League coach. My authority was not recognized by the 8-year-olds. I'm still scarred by that. Thank you all. Yeah, right. I got the support from the adults. But I want to give credit where credit is due. Gabrielle Fialkoff and I have been working together now over 20 years. She's one of the people that made this administration possible from the beginning. So I want to just give her her due. The things we've been able to do is because good people made it possible along the way. Thank you. Thank you for everything. To my colleagues in elective office, yes, he is Assembly Member Nick Perry. And I want you to know, his district goes to right over there. And I just want to say, Rodney's was very generous. She only charged him a modest amount to come across into her district. I thought that was very kind. Very kind. There's Venmo, whatever you want to use to pay, it's okay. But he is Assembly Member Nick Perry. He's done amazing things for Brooklyn, but he's about to do amazing things for the United States of America, even though he keeps telling us not until he's confirmed by the Congress. But I can still say he's going to be our ambassador to Jamaica, and we are so proud of that. Congratulations. Ambassador Perry invites you all to a giant party in Montego Bay. He hasn't worked out the details, but, it's going to be great. We all need to be there, okay? All right, now, Assembly Member Rodney's Bichot Amerlin is someone I just cherish. She also is one of the reasons I'm here as your mayor, going back a long way. She believed in me when a lot of others wouldn't give me the time of day, and I always appreciate that. But we have partnered from the beginning, and we've been able to change a lot, including in Albany. The Assembly member mentioned we want to see this project benefit minority and women-owned businesses. We want to see this project get money back in the community. We love what's going to be built. We love even more that the jobs and the wealth creation will be of and by and for the community. We're able to do that because of the laws she got passed in Albany. Let's thank the Assembly member for all she has done. And then the woman of the hour, who very persistently fought for this and reminded me wherever I went, even when I did not want to talk about this topic, she made sure that we did talk about this topic. We were talking about other topics. She would bring it around to this topic. Councilmember Farah Lewis, a picture of persistence. Thank you. Thank you for your incredible leadership. Thank you for believing this could be done, because when you believe it could be done, that's the way it actually does get done. Right. And I want to tell you all, we're going to have another announcement coming up. I only say this much so far. We lost an incredible New Yorker earlier this year, someone I had the honor of getting to know. Literally one of the great actors of our time in what was, to me, he did many things, but he also participated to me in the greatest television show in the history of television, The Wire, on HBO. We're going to find a way before I leave office to properly honor Michael K. Williams for all he has done for this community, for all the people he mentored, for all the people he loved and supported. We want his name to be up there as an inspiration to all. And the council member has also persistently reminded me of the need to do this. We're going to find a way in these next weeks to get it to happen. Now, Shirley Chisholm, you kid. This is like the ultimate. When you name something and you're trying to think out who to name something after that could represent good and can represent the values of this community, you cannot do better than Shirley Chisholm. She represents so much. Yes, trailblazer, visionary, someone who could not be talked down. When she was right, she stuck to it, and she made things happen. She changed the world single-handedly. She had a great phrase. I love this phrase. She said, really school people in how to know your own power and not be backed off what you need. And she said, speaking about power, speaking about how decisions are made, she said, if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. Right. I think that's a beautiful, simple, that's news you can use right there. So everybody, Shirley Chisholm believed that people could and must be empowered, and that some of it was self-empowerment. Here's an example right here. We're about to tell you just how much in the way of resources are flowing into this community, this deserving community, this good community of hardworking people, the children of this community who deserve to see their future, who deserve to know the best is reserved for them, but who haven't seen that so often in the past. They deserve a world-class facility. The seat at the table, which Farah Lewis exercises to say, for East Flatbush, as good as for even the most privileged community, as good a facility as you will find anywhere in New York City. Something for everyone to be proud of, because that communicates to our young people. When you invest, people can feel it. When our young people see that their city loves them and cares about them and is giving them everything, it says to them they are valued. We believe in them. They are truly our hope. They are precious. They feel when the opposite happens too. They feel when they're ignored. It's up to us to show them we love them by investing in them, by being there for them, by showing we see their greatness. We see their greatness. And we're going to do something about it. So everyone, you've heard what's going to be in this center. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be transcendent. It's going to be something you can use when the weather's cold, which I appreciate right now at this exact hour. It's going to be something for everyone. And we're going to see lives changed. So those are my words, but I'd prefer to now end the words and talk about the deeds. I think we have a representation out here. Turn around, turn other way, like this, so we can, I'm going to teach you about this, so we can have our dramatic moment. No, it's not too late. You can always have a dramatic moment. Okay, here we go. Everybody ready? Because we love the children of our community, we love the seniors, we love the community, on behalf of the people of New York City, I present $141 million. $141 million. This means bringing money to the people, to the community, making sure every child is respected and gets what they deserve. $141 million for the people of this good community. Congratulations to all. Congratulations. Just hold it one more time. Let's give all the photographers their moment. There's 141 million good reasons to take a photo. You guys want to all move? Yeah. Come on over. Join in.
I want to move next to the ambassador.
I know, especially when it's cold out up here.
Okay, jump in.
Come on, Al.
Don't be shy.
Brother now.